Hello and welcome. I'm Graham, I'm the Ancient Minecrafter, and we've got an exciting day today. I am finally going to start the very boring, but the very beginning of Stonehenge itself. Now, if we have a quick look around, there it is. Now, there's the totem poles, there's the cursors. Stonehenge, I've actually come about 100 meters away from Stonehenge because it was a lot bigger than I thought. And out here, you can see, look, I put diddy little signs up. And yes, I know I did some stuck to fence posts and some as signs. What are you going to do? But I've actually marked it all out in tens of meters properly because I needed a massive flat area for it. And where I put the actual waypoint for Stonehenge, it was just, if you look here, we come up to the edge of where I am going to build it, and it's quite on a slope. And that would have been, you can see actually I've left a few posts out there when I started planning it, and I thought that's going to be a nightmare. So I've got this nice flat area here to make Stonehenge. Now, the very, very first section of Stonehenge that was ever built was a ditch and bank system. You're probably sensing a theme here. They always start off with a ditch and bank. And the overall diameter of the whole thing was 85 meters. So if I go out here to 40, which is half of it, and a little bit further on, I will then start building the ditch and bank. So here's 40. So we go one, about 42, about here. Now I've got some notes here. Oh, why does that always happen? Right. Now I can't remember my commands. They're clear. Your own time. Thank you. Right, so half of 85 is 42 and a half, so we need to start there. There will be a lot of rustling in this because I've got lots of bits of paper for this. So we've got a circular bank, which is always really hard to do. And now here's another really exciting thing. I've actually, you can see I've messed up. It hasn't quite got the right name there, but we've got chalk with grass growing on top. And we want a bank that's 6 meters wide and 2 meters high. So what I'm going to do is hit the wrong button as always. So what happens if you try talking and Minecrafting at the same time? Oh, it's just not happening today, is it? 1, 2, 3. Right, we'll go out that far and then we'll do one of them. It's just way too sensitive today. So that is the bank, and actually I really like that. And then there's a ditch, I'm reading here, and the ditch was 7 meters wide. So we go 1, 2, I've got rid of a sign, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And it was 2 meters deep. So again, I'm going to do a nice kind of effect here. So that it's stepped down like that. And then on the far side was a small second bank. So I think it was only a couple of meters wide. So we'll just go boff boff like that. So that is one slice through, and if you've been following me at all, you'll know what I'm going to do next is fire up World Edit. And I have to explain how this video is going to go because there's an awful lot of this ditch. I mean, if you look, even if I fly, you can see the ditch is going to go right round. There's the middle, that'll be 10, 20, 30. So the ditch is going to go right round to there, and again, right out to there. So there's a lot of building. So when I've got a bit of ditch and bank going on, I will probably quietly press F8 and pause it, and then I will come back to you, as they say, in a minute when it's all done. What I'm also going to do to make it look pretty is I'm going to just bash out these 7 blocks here. And no, I was obviously at a good range for knocking them out and not for putting them back in. And that way when we do it, it'll all look nice and chalky. So that one's going to show. That one's going to show. That's all going to look like grass. These all are better be regular chalk. And that one had better be... So that looks quite nice actually, doesn't it? I know the grass is a different colour. I'm not quite sure what happened to my PNG, but it's quite nice to show you where there's chalk under the ground and where there isn't. So that is my ditch and bank. Now I also did a really neat trick. I drew a massive circle on a piece of graph paper. So now I can look at it and I can think to myself, Right, I know how far to do it so that I can do a square circle, if that makes any sense. So the first thing to do, as always, is to select it, and we've got quite a big bit to select here. So I'm just going to use some plain dirt as a kind of, as a reference, because, and if I do slash slash hpos1 on that, then we get rid of it and we get a wireframe floating in midair. And if we go all the way over to, let's dig a hole about here, and the thing is too deep, so we're going to want to go really right the way down. Can I look at that one? Yeah, and if we do an hpos2 there, then that's going to be too wide. So, who left that hole there? And I've just realised that's totally not going to work, is it? Because that's going to do a kind of stripy ditch. That's not going to do a proper ditch. That's going to do a ditch, and then a line of bank, and then a ditch and a line of bank. Oh, fiddle it. So I will dig down here, and I will set this square of the wireframe to be hpos2, and we'll just see what happens. So now if I stand here, we need to go about 4 one way and 3 the other. So I'll just do this bit, and then I'll pause and do a huge amount of building and unpause it. So I'll do a stack 3 facing that way. Yeah, that kind of looks alright. I'm going to undo that though, because one thing I'm not happy with is this one block here that I think would look nicer as... Oh, and then I suppose we should really do that one, shouldn't we? And then if we just redo the stack 3, and now if we just drop into the ditch, and we face this way and we do a stack 4, then we've got a good start. And I can't type today either. Right. And the sun is setting. There's my first day's ditch and bank building. And now what I'll do is I will hit F8 for a little while. And I will go and copy lumps of this and move it offset. And when I've got kind of like a quarter of a circle, I'll drop you back in and we can have a look at what I've done. I'll probably cheat and time set back to 0. Although I am on creative and there won't be any nasty monsters. So that's always a good start. Okay then, back in a minute. Right, I am back, although you won't notice anything. I have actually been hacking away for about 20 minutes here. And as you can see, I've copy and pasted I've stacked that original bank. First of all, I'm going to walk around on the ground so you can see. It kind of looks alright. There's obviously some bits along here. I might put a bit of chalk in there, or I might leave it as dirt. I'm not entirely sure. But if we take off, hopefully, now I must admit, I haven't done this, as they say, completely mathematically precise. I know where I wanted to start and where I wanted to end up. But I actually think that looks alright. I think it looks like the first eighth of a circle? Oh god, it's an eighth of a circle, isn't it? I've got a long way to go. But that looks like the beginning of a circle. In case anybody wonders, Minecraft is an absolute nightmare to do circles in, which kind of calls into question the whole sanity of doing stone circles in Minecraft. But I've started and I've got this far, and I'm just having a look and I can see there's one bit here which I need to zoom into and just fix. But aside from that, that is actually looking quite promising, and I think when I get all the way around, and it might be a bit later on, when I do eventually get all the way around, now what needs to be there? I think we can just down a bit. Yeah, that looks better. And this is from the outside now. Also I need to be, I think this is actually, yeah, in the northeast corner of it there was a big entrance, so I need to knock that out, probably when I've finished. So if I'm in the centre, the northeast corner is going to be directly on the opposite side, that's fine. Oh, there's some sheep. So from down here you can see that it would have been, again, like everything they did, really obvious on the landscape. I need to find some kind of, I need to find a lawnmower mod more than anything else to get rid of a lot of this grass that just keeps cropping up everywhere, because if we get rid of some of this tall grass, you can start to see the impact it would have had. Right, well, I think I'm going to go for another pause, and maybe a couple of hours of building, and I'll come back to you and edit in the video when it's all been properly spliced together and you can see an entire circle. So for the minute, I'm just going to fly up, admire the fact that that is an eighth of a circle, and then I don't think there's any kind of copy and paste or anything clever I can do. I think all I can do is just keep on digging ditches, building banks, and carrying on my way around. And I will see you later. Okay then, right. Well, I have spent most of the evening on this. This is what I've got so far. I know if you look at where my cursor is, that corner there needs a bit of work. Actually, even that corner there is a bit leery. I might have to go back to the graph paper and have another go. But this is about half of it so far. It's a ditch and bank, and obviously there's a bit round here. When I tidy that up, I'll put in more chalk and grass and less of that. I will just fly down to ground level because we'll start to be able to get a bit of a sense of what it would actually be like on the ground. I will just, now if I go, I hate all this tall grass, it really ruins the effect of the chalk, but if we go around to here, once I've jumped up here, I'll start running. Because if we're outside, and there's no doubt now that you can see it, that this was like a kind of ceremonial enclosure. So if we're outside and it looks here like it's complete because that's like about half of it, then you can jump up here and it's really obvious you're not meant to get in there. And nobody knows about the avenue which leads up to the Stonehenge, and I'll deal with the avenue in my next video by the look of it now. But yeah, if we come through this grass here and we're kind of thinking, how on earth are we going to get in? And then all of a sudden, through all these banks and everything, we come to here. And you're like, oh wow, now that is a proper entrance. 1, 2, 3, 4, it's 5 blocks wide. And you come up to here and you're like, oh yeah, now this is the way in. And you look at these banks on each side and it's no doubt that you're now coming into a sacred enclosure. If I just do one more thing, if I press X on voxel map, you can see it's not perfectly round. There are some bits that I'm not happy with. But on the other hand, it's pretty good. And as I'm sure everybody knows, you can't really do... Oh, I always do that with voxel map. You need X. You can't really do circles in Minecraft. So again, if you look at my mini-map, that's a pretty good indication. Anyway, when I come back for my next video, I will have done the whole circle and I'll have done... See here in the northeast... Oh, actually we're nearly there, aren't we? There should be a great big... Is that a... Oh no, that's... Right, that's the west. But in the northeast corner, so if I look northeast now, over in this corner there should be a great big exit. And that's where the avenue goes, and that goes and bends round and comes down to the river. Anyway, I will leave it there for now. As always, like, subscribe, email me, tell me what you think, and next time we will have a look at the whole circle all completed. It took a bit longer than I thought, but I think it's been quite fun. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.